your upbringing is fascinating. And, born in South Africa to parents from Lithuanian descent, you moved to London, you went to school here, you quickly visited Israel, and I think maybe fell in love with that. Obviously, you teach and study, or did at some point in California. How much of that shaped the man you are today?
I think it did. I think as I said, I'm not somebody who's, is a tribalist. I don't believe in my side being the best, because actually I have multiple sides. Also, I actually feel, you can enjoy fish without saying I don't like meat. Or you can, like vegetables without saying I never eat. You can actually like things without excluding other things. I never see actually the reason to exclude. I believe that diversity really is a massive secret for all of life. We have to be very diverse, because survival depends on diversity in the same way the survival of your portfolio that's being invested depends on diversity. If it's all Bitcoin, you might do really well, but you're going to get into trouble at some point. So I really believe in globalism. My nature is, right now we also spend time in China because my wife is a curator of Chinese art. And, China's just another country. I'm not saying that I'm not going to talk about politics. But on the other hand, there's a lot of good things there, very efficient. So, I think one sees lots of different things. I think actually, I don't think anyone has yet found the perfect system for anything. We still have to find better social systems, better systems of governance. One closing word that I actually have said before, but I think I like very much, and that is that, people have been talking about a future where machines are doing a lot of things. But what we really need machines for is not to do the manual work, but to do a bit of the thinking. And I have this sort of dream that in 10 years' time, before the next big crisis, artificial intelligence will have come a long, long way. And in the same way that now when we want to drive anywhere, we open up Google Maps or Waze or whatever the routing program is, and we don't even try to prove how great we are at driving, we just say, get us to this place. Well, I think what we need to do next time is to put our phone on and basically say, hey, Alexa, Google, Siri, should I panic? And you'll get an answer coming back that would say, you probably shouldn't panic because you're this age group and the mortality is like this, and people are working on it over here. And if you follow this link, you'll get good information. Take it easy. I mean, that isn't rocket science, but that would have saved a lot of people a lot of panic. And, I think it's an important way to think about this.
I've heard you quote Socrates by saying, I think, use your common sense instead of listening to rhetoric. Is that how that goes?
Yeah. I mean, basically, that's what Socrates did say. But it was interesting. I was on Fox, and a lot of my, Laura Ingraham, who's actually a very nice lady, smart as well. And a lot of my people had said, how can you go into Fox and stuff like this? And actually, we were talking about common sense and rhetoric, which I think is a very important rule here, because I think a lot of us forget about our common sense. And if it seems too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. And, we do have, and there was information out there. Now, I worry because in any kind of environment, you always seek out people who are like you. And you shouldn't. You should actually seek out people who are different from you, because that's the interesting part. And I kind of wish I'd been, maybe more. In fact, the first interview I had was with, I forget the name, Brian has a Fox radio show, Brian Kilmeade. And I was on Brian Kilmeade on the 3rd of March, which was very early. And, he had me talking for 20 minutes, didn't interrupt me once. I don't think it got any, I never heard anything back from it. I probably didn't get any views or any likes, but it was a very nice experience. I think it's a diverse world out there, and we need to be diverse to make the best of it.
Yeah, very much so. And I know what you mean by common sense. I see things sometimes and, plexiglass between tables, and it just doesn't make any common sense to me. Last question, Tel Aviv, for people that have never been there before, what's the city like? How would you describe it to someone from somewhere halfway across the world?
So I would say it's like New York and Casablanca mixed together. We have a great seafront. I mean, the whole, the long edge of Tel Aviv is the ocean. It's a very nice sea. I go walking there almost every evening. It basically feels like a festival. We were there last evening, and I actually go to Burning Man. I don't know if you know about what Burning Man is, but I go there. And the Tel Aviv seafront actually feels like Burning Man. There's great music and lights and, people walking around with their bathing suits on and stuff like that. And then further inland, you have, some beautiful architecture, high skyscrapers, a lot of art. I mean, in that sense, it's a bit like New York. I mean, it's very small compared to New York. It doesn't have anything like the galleries, but it's a pretty exciting art scene, music scene, theater scene with the beach. So it's like, if Jones Beach was if New York had a lower latitude and Jones Beach was one edge of Manhattan, that would be Tel Aviv. So.